Welcome to your 5 minute focus. Today I am going to speak from James 4, verse 8, and it says, Draw close to God, and God will draw close to you. There is an insert from day 12, and I'm going to try to merge day 12 and 13 together, but it is a conversation between God and Moses. And the Bible talks a lot about how Moses was a friend of God, and or God, he labeled him a friend, and it talks about how open and honest Moses was when he was talking to God. Like, he really had a relationship with God that was so strong that it was just like you talking to your best friend or me talking to my best friend, and not holding back anything. You know how you can call that friend on the phone, and it doesn't matter what it is. Like, you just go in. You can, whether it's something that you're trying to get off your chest that has disappointed you, or whether it's something celebratory. Like, you don't hold anything back. You call them without hesitation. um, and that's kind of the relationship that Moses and God had. And so here, Moses says, look, you tell me to lead this people. And he's talking about the children of Israel. And so he says, you tell me to lead these people to the promised land, but you don't let me know who you're sending with me. So I don't know who's coming with me. You just got me out here. And he says, if I'm so special, if like we supposed to be friends, like we supposed to be close, like tell me, let me in on the plans, let me know what's going on. And and then he reminds him, he says, don't forget, this is your people. Like, these are the people, like, and you think about people who you deal with on a daily basis that may be a little difficult to deal with. You're like, God, these your people. Like, I didn't create these people. Like, these are your people. Nor did I put these people in my vicinity. Like, you did that. And he says, this is your people. This is your responsibility. He puts it on the line. Moses lays it out. He's like, look, these are your people. This is your responsibility. Like, you created us. Like, and he said, if your presence doesn't take the lead here, you can go just call this trip off. So Moses goes as far to say, listen, if you're not going to be with me to lead these people to this promised land, we not going. Like, we're not even going to go to the promised land. And you think about your life and how things don't always go according to plan. And you want to say the same thing. And you can, is what I'm saying. Like, you can say the same thing. It's like, God, listen, this ain't how it's out. Like, this is not what you outlined in your word. You told me that I would be the lender and not the borrower. Wait a minute. It don't look like I'm lending. What's happening? You told me that I'm the head and not the tail. Wait a minute. Something don't look right. You told me I'm above and not beneath. Like, you told me I was a royal priesthood. You told me, you start to really look at the word. Look at first you have to know what God said about you. You got to know what's in the word. So we have to go to the word. We have to read the word. We have to apply the word. But then we have to talk to God about it. We have to develop that friendship, get close to him to the point where we share how we're feeling about every aspect of our life. And he says, how else will I know you're with me in this and with your people? Like, how else will I know this, God, unless you show yourself strong, unless you show yourself mighty? And God says, get this, God says, just as you say, this also I will do, for I know you well and you are special to me. So God says, listen, I know as your friend, you think about your friend when you're talking to your best friend and you're talking about a specific situation. You kind of know, sometimes you know how they're going to respond. Either they're going to encourage you, or they're going to, tell you, nah, girl, you crazy, or whatever the case may be. But as we develop that relationship with God, we can let out all of our frustrations. We can let out things that are celebratory. But at the end of the day, we already know that God has full control and that He already has a victory over every area of our lives. So I just want to encourage you, continue to draw close to God as He continues to draw close to you. This has been your 5 minute focus.